73,138. This many children were reported missing in 2019. The NCRB says that an Indian child goes missing every 8 minutes. The saddest part about this is that, behind these numbers are the faces of thousands of innocent people, whose lives have become hell. What happens to these kids, who are still young, and have their whole lives to live, and see the world? Children, who run away from home, either work as child laborers, or join a criminal gang. Most of these kids are the victims of the organ trade, or child trafficking. Today, we're going to talk about a case that happened in Noida, India, and made the whole country cringe. The never-ending hunt for Nithari murders. In 2005, the Nithari police station was filled with reports of missing children and women. But most of these complaints were turned down, because the parents said the child was younger than they said, and the kids were actually adults, who had run away from home. Some complaints weren't taken seriously, because people said things like, "She's a girl, so she must have run away with someone." Isn't it sad that these complaints were turned down for reasons that make no sense? In 2005, some kids were playing cricket in Sector D5, when they saw a hand in a plastic bag in the back drain. When this was told to the police, they told the villagers that the hand did not belong to a human, but to an animal. Some people also said that there was a ghost in the area where children were going missing. On May 7, 2006, Payal's father, Nand Lal, went to the police station to file a missing persons report. According to him, Payal took an auto rickshaw to get to Moninder Singh Pander's house. Nand Lal goes to Moninder Singh's house to learn more about Payal, who has gone missing. Moninder wasn't there. Surinder Kohli, who works for him as a housekeeper, told Nand Lal that he didn't know anything about Payal. The police didn't want to take this situation seriously, and even Nand Lal was tired of going back and forth in the police station. When Payal's phone was tracked after a month, it was found that it was last seen at the home of Moninder Singh Pander. When police looked at Payal's call logs, story began to reveal. Surinder Kohli and Payal talked on the phone the night before Payal went missing, according to call logs. Surinder Kohli was arrested so that the police could look into him further, but the owner of the bungalow, Moninder Singh Pander, released him on bail, because the police only had the call records as evidence. Many wrapped-up skeletons were found in the back drain of sector bungalow number D5 that day. When everyone in the country saw this, they all got scared. Surinder Kohli was home alone that day, because his master had gone to Chandigarh, India. Both of them were caught by the police. Because of a lot of pressure from the public, the government transferred this case to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, on January 10, 2007. The Central Bureau of Investigation is the premier investigating agency of India. Kohli, the servant, and Pander, the master, are in the custody of the CBI. After 60 days in jail, there was no evidence to prove that these two were guilty. All of Pander's family used to live in Chandigarh, and he lived alone in bungalow D5 with his servant. Pander was also known to have called girls come to his house from time to time. On February 27, 2007, Surinder Kohli, the servant, confessed the crime. There were 9 female children, 5 adult women and 2 male children. Surinder Kohli somehow caught them, took them into D5, and killed them. But that's not all. He also said that he had sex with the dead bodies of the people he killed. Surinder also said that he would go to the bathroom, cut up the bodies, and then cook and eat them in the kitchen. And whatever was left would be wrapped in plastic and throw on the back drain. While the CBI was looking into the case, it was known that Pander would often pay off Simranjit Kaur, who was in charge of local police station. Because of the ignorance of police and authorities, the people who could have been saved, even they lost their lives. The government sent a 2-person team to Noida, and fired the senior superintendent of police, the assistant superintendent of police, the circle officer, and the security in charges. In 2009, the Ministry of Women and Child Development sent a group of experts to Nithari to look into this. The chief medical superintendent of Noida, Dr. Vinod Kumar, the cuts in the bodies were done in a very precise way, which were pointing to organ trading. But, even after doing an in-depth investigation about organ trading, CBI didn't get any proof. Surinder Kohli did not hire a lawyer to represent him in court. Instead, he defended himself. Kohli and Pander were both sentenced to death on September 10, 2009, for raping and killing 14-year-old Rimpa Hartal. But, while Kohli's sentence was upheld, Pander was found to be innocent by the Allahabad court, and Kohli's death sentence was later changed to life in prison. On July 24, 2017, the CBI court sentenced Moninder Pander and Surinder Kohli to death for killing and robbing Pinky Sarkar. Kohli was found guilty 12th murder case of Nithari murder series on January 16, 2021. Pander was found not guilty. Nithari's most recent status says that Kohli was found not guilty in the 13th murder case because there was no biological evidence. The rest of the cases are still waiting for a decision. Both of the criminals are being held in the Dasna jail, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. But all of the evidence points to Kohli as the killer for 16 murder, and the CBI has said that it has nothing to do with Pander. Pander was only charged with a moral traffic case. But because of what the families of the victims said, the Ghaziabad court has added 5 more cases against Pander. Devraj Singh, Pander's lawyer, stated in the Ghaziabad court that of the 6 cases that are pending, only 1 is ongoing at the Ghaziabad court and the remaining are pending to be appealed by the higher courts. Is Surinder Kohli a psychopath? The most worrying thing is that Surinder Kohli never seemed sorry for what he did. Some police officers who worked on this case said that, after seeing Kohli, they would never believe he could do something like this. Even when he was in jail, he would have a smile on his face. What are all of these traits, if they are not those of a psychopath? The never-ending hunt? Kohli also said in his one confession that his owner would bring sex workers at night, and Kohli would cook food for him and his sex workers. Kohli got an uncontrollable urge to have sex after seeing all of this. This is why he would bring children and women into D5 and misbehave with them. He also said that he felt possessed by his desire to have sex with dead people. In this society, are there more people like Kohli? Between 2005 and 2006, more than 50 kids went missing in Nithari and the surrounding area. Only 16 dead bodies were found, and Kohli was the one who killed them. So the question comes up, where are the other children? Is Kohli a scapegoat? In 2014, Surinder's mother, went from Uttarakhand to Meerut jail to see him. After the 45-minute talk, Surinder's mother told the reporters that Surinder can't do anything wrong. Surinder told her that he was just a scapegoat for all the important people. His mother told the reporters that if Pander didn't get the death penalty, neither should Surinder, and if Surinder was hanged, so should Pander. Unignorable smell? Normal human bodies take about 3 years to break down. If Kohli had dumped all the bodies in the shallow back drain, why couldn't any of the neighbors smell the foul smell of the bodies? Just like this, there are a lot of loopholes in this case. So, it's been 17 years since the terrible Nithari case, but there are still cases that haven't been solved. Even now, children still go missing in India, and can't find them. Thanks for watching, and for more amazing videos, please leave a comment, share, subscribe, and like.